I like that one too. The Beast. Next time,
Yeah, be a beast.
be the Beast.
Be a beast. All right, welcome to Financial Freedom Live. My name is Robert Lyon with Gino Nadarov. All right, we're about to kick things off. Let me go live on Instagram real quick. Cool. I mean, we've been having a busy year, man. The first quarter's dead. April's happening. Hopefully, people are getting their tax money and not blowing it. It's time to kick off summer. You know, that's what I'm thinking. It's money making season. It's a good year for me. It doesn't seem like for the rest of the world, but I'm doing all right. You're right. Gino's doing all right. We're alive. We're still kicking and screaming. But I hope everybody out there is doing good too. Today we're going to be talking about lots of money things, financial freedom. Seems like all we talk about is money, 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 but we do have some cool topics today. If you guys have anything specifically you want us to go over, drop it in the comments or send us a message. Check out creditleveragex.com as well. And then next week, we're going to start doing a webinar going over personal credit, business credit, getting funding, creating passive income, and creating financial freedom, and so much more. So if you have any questions about that, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of us, but give us a like, give us a follow. I'll talk to you soon. Gino, you got anything before we kind of hop into the questions you want to say? You're on mute. Or maybe I'm on mute.
There you go. So is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a a very great opportunity that we're going to be doing a webinar. It's something that is new to everybody, and we're excited to show you guys what we can do and get you guys educated. So that's time to actually get on. Look out for that. We're going to be sending out a letter, an email for that as well.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people on your Instagram, Gino. I'm always wondering if you go on your app, can you see them at all or no?
Yeah, I mean, live. I don't see them, but I know that I know that every time I talk to anybody that tells me they're definitely they're on there. I got people reacting.
Welcome people from the Instagram world, the gram. But now there's like 50 people on there, which is kind of cool. So,
nice.
Anyways,
anyways, I got my fan team.
The Gino crew,
the maniacs of the world.
That's good, man. Well, cool. I think we'll just hop into the questions because I like some of these questions. We'll start with the first one's kind of an easy one, but it's good just to think about. So, Gino, whenever you think of when you're going to buy something, when should you use cash, and when do you think you should use credit? Which one do you kind of like? What's your go-to, or does it not matter?
No, I mean, I use credit for mostly everything, except for the only time I use cash is if you get a deal. It's like, hey, let me get a deal, I'll give you cash. But contractors, honestly, if for me a contract, I have to pay cash for contracting work.
Yeah,
usually is the best way, to save money and be able to get stuff done. But usually cash, I always say cash is trash because cash, if it's not used, it's not being valued. So I should put that money in an investment and then pay him out through my investment, which is through my business. And that's probably usually what I do. But sometimes cash, everybody wants cash, right? So it's like the reason they want cash is because they may not have show they have money, or they made money off and not reported it, for example. Report your taxes. We at the end of the day, we want you guys have to, that's the rules. You got to follow the rules. But when you look at overall, like payment wise, people like to take cash over credit all day. And the reason is there's no interest connected to it. There's no fees. If you're doing a transaction fee for like a merchant device, you have merchant fees, right? So those things factor into how much money you charge for your products, essentially. And if a contractor can save money or taxes, he'll take cash. And I think cash is a really good way to like incentivize getting some cash or discounts in anything you do. And whenever you buy something, a car, I mean, you can probably do the same thing whenever they buy a house, right? They have cash offers come in, boom, it gets sold. You're like, man, somebody came in with cash, 40K cash above asking and took over. Or they even came in less than what was asking, and then people might take the cash versus the loans. I mean, the owner gets paid no matter what, but when it comes to cash, it's just instant, right? It's instant money, and that's the difference versus credit is instant too, but credit is a loan. It's like it's debt. There's a debt connected to it. There's a interest rate connected to it. So that way, you know that at the end, you're not going to pay, $5,000. You're going to pay 5,000 plus interest.
Right. I mean, ever since I was reading about Sam Walton and basically how he bought everything on business credit and kept all of his cash to buy more real estate and buy more properties, it's like, duh.
Yeah.
That's the most obvious thing I've thought of. I mean, I've always, tried to house and save my cash, just to like, have a mattress of cash I can sleep on or whatever. But I like to keep cash separate. And then, what I've been doing lately is I use credit. I think of credit as an investment. Like if I'm going to invest into something, I'll use credit. And then if I'm going to buy like something that's just going to like evaporate, I'll use cash. Like for groceries or going out to dinner, I use my debit card or my cash. If I'm investing in something that I think is going to pay me back more money, I'll use my credit, right? That's kind of my go-to way of thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I recommend using credit for everything, even your bills. Like if you got bills to pay, like if you can pay your credit card, your cell phone bills, even your rent, you can pay with a credit card. Like you'll, as long as you have the cash, you pay it off. You actually build credit, right? So, pay everything with credit, grocery stores, dinner, especially like expensive dinners. Like I'm excited to go pay for that dinner because I'm gonna get points on my card. And I'm like, hey, I want to spend more money on this card. Like I'm like, where can I spend my money?
Yeah,
like literally, where can I go to spend not my cash, but my credit card?
Yeah,
where can I go spend my credit so I can go make more money, essentially, and leverage that credit and get rewards or whatever else. We have free flight or free vacation to Vegas, Miami. I mean, I'm literally getting free trips, hotel included, just by using my credit. So it's like this is cool. This is an incentive, right? Incentive to use credit to get those rewards, because the credit cards, they want you to use the credit. They just don't expect you to pay it back fast enough. But if you're good and you know how to, and you have money and you're actually making money, you're working, use your credit, pay it off. Use your credit, pay it off. And that way the banks never make money off you because they get no interest. You're just using their money and building credit. So I think credit is the way to go. Cash is only, it's only good if it's used to invest or if it's to save you money.
Yeah, for like a big purchase or like a down payment. So that's what I keep cash for. Everything else, credit.
Exactly.
I like that. So let's go to the next one. So what is financial freedom? So I was interviewing an asset manager guy this week, and he was saying, a lot of these people that come to him, they're very affluent and very rich. And basically all he helps them do is like organize their money and then decide the things that they want to spend their money on or to have money for. And he was like, we like travel, wine, and food. Like those are the things that they want to have extra money to buy. And I thought that was kind of funny, right? So that was his kind of definition of financial freedom, is like have a lot of money, invest your money, have your money work for you, and then have extra money so that you can travel, drink wine, and eat food if that's your thing. But what do you think? What is financial freedom to you, Gino?
It's good. I mean, those are basically it, right? Travel, food, and be able to do whatever you want. But I think financial freedom means you don't have you like true financial freedom is, to me, it means passive income, like passively, like that's real financial freedom.
Passively.
Yeah. So passive income, and whether it's a business, whether it's a real estate property, a commercial real estate apartment, like, or just, or your portfolio, like a passive income, or if you've invested your money and you're getting a return, like in our campaign marketing, that's truly passive income. Or if you have an e-commerce store, right, that's fully automated, right, truly passive income. Like there's not like a lot of like options when it comes to passive income, because there's always that intervention, especially businesses, as we know, that if you step away from a business too early, the business will crash. Like, and then whenever you step away at the time, if you ever get a chance to, some people never get to step away. But if you can organize or design the business in the way that you are able to step away from it, what that gives you the power to to step away, enjoy your life, but you still end up coming back, and at least if you're like me, who's I'm a control freak. I want to see what's going on. I'm always involved. I got to get my nose involved, and that's a good trait. You got to have that, because you want to be able to, in any business or any job or anything, you got to be like very compulsive and obsessed with what you're doing. And you start to see, oh, you know what? I'm going to go see how the sales team is doing. I'm going to go see how the marketing is doing. I'm going to go see how everything is doing. So that way you're always going to want to come back and manage it. And that's what you want to be. But if you're having to come in and fix the problems and get back into it, then you know that your business wasn't properly set up to do truly passive income. And that takes a lot of work to create a business that is completely passive, right? Completely passive. And there's a lot of businesses that they're close to it, but they still have the main person or someone else involved, or management or something is always involved to make sure everything's running. But they passively requires you to always be involved. Real estate is another one. You might have a management company that manages your properties, but is it really passive if they have to call you? Or they have to, what kind of interactions are you? What's your interaction with the management company? Do you just receive a check and never hear from them? Because that's really where you want to be at, But you have to trust the management company to do the right thing and make sure that your real estate or whatever is being managed properly and rented correctly,
Yeah. But I mean, financial freedom is like, you don't have to worry about money, right? That's kind of my example of it. Is like, money is you have so much money accumulating and doing things. I don't know, but then you get to the point where you have so much money that it becomes a problem. It's kind of another level. It's like, you got to have some sort of business, like you were talking about. You got to plug in.
Stay motivated.
Yeah, but for financial freedom, my idea of financial freedom is I have enough money to pay all the bills, so I can just use my time to focus on building something that I'm interested in and researching and hanging out with people that I want to do. Right. That's what my definition is. And I think everybody should hit that point. Cause it's not like we want to get financial freedom just so we can, do drugs in our mansions, maybe for a little while, but not forever. Right. Cause I do have friends that have tons of money, but they're in a terrible relationship. They're fucking blacking out on drugs almost every night. And they're just depressed. And like, they're fucking millionaires and they're not happy. Right. I don't think that's financial freedom. Maybe it is. They don't have to worry about finances. Their demons are different than other people's demons are. So It's kind of an interesting thing. But I think my financial freedom would be all the bills are paid. Don't have to even worry about money, but I still will work on things that I'm passionate about that I think are interesting or important for the world. Right. So that's my definition, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's the way to go. And I think a lot of people that have money don't appreciate what they have, and then they end up accumulating other problems. Just like you said, if you have money, you're gonna have other problems. People that have money do not have problems. It doesn't work that. They just don't have financial problems.
Yeah,
they probably have other problems. Actually, their problems are probably worse than financial problems. Financial problems are definitely important and they're critical, but there's a lot of problems out there that people that have to deal with, and they don't. Money can't even solve those problems. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like so be grateful for being, for having the financial freedom, that mentality that the only thing that's stopping you, if it's just financial freedom, you are lucky.
Yeah, right. Imagine having a spiritual like problems. Like brain problems. Like there's a lot of other words.
You are lucky if that's all you have. If your problem is just financial freedom, I mean, you are in a great position to really be spiritually, financially and physically awaken, like complete enlightenment, right? Oh, I got all the money I need. I got all the stuff I want to do. I got my life in front of me and I can do this stuff. And I got this, and I got time now that I don't have to wait. I don't have to work for my money. Now I have time. Imagine how much creativity, how much abilities you're going to start, how immersed are you going to be in your life when you don't have to worry about financial freedom. You're going to take care of your health. You're going to take care of your family. You're going to take care of everybody around you. You're going to make sure that, everybody eats and that everybody's taken care of, even though, because if you're doing good, and your family isn't, then, that doesn't really work. You got to take care of everybody around you. Cause that way, you feel like, at least, besides you, everybody else got a little piece of it. That way they're not struggling in life. And the worst thing you want is people struggling. And finally, you're actually helping and making an impact, like an impact in the world. And what are you going to leave? This is the stuff that I read in the book. I'm sure it. It's like Steve Jobs said he wants to leave a dent in the world.
Yeah,
right.
I think he did that
too. Right. It's like, well, guess what? And he left a big dent.
That chunk of
right?
that apple, that was him. That's missing.
Yeah,
He hit that. Yeah.
that's a big dent, right? It's like other people wanted to change the world and create opportunities. Like it's like I don't you ask some people that have money why they don't spend their money on things. They just want to make an impact, right? So if I make an impact, find those those people that have done it, that have done that have taken action and make an impact. And I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I like that. I know a couple of stories that I have is the opposite of financial freedom. My girlfriend's, I don't even know what you call them. One of a story from in Chicago. He started his own insurance company. He grinded he grinded so hard to the point where he was 50. He sold the company, bought a house in Florida, died the week, had a heart attack in his house in Florida where he was going to retire. Like he worked his whole life, bought his retirement home, and died that week of a heart attack. That is the opposite of financial freedom. That is not what you want to do, right? So
yeah,
that's sad, right?
It's like you get to the epiphany, the point of like, wow, like I made it, right? I made it. I don't need to worry about finances. I can do whatever I want. I can travel. I can enjoy my life. And then boom, reality hits. You didn't take care of your health. You stressed yourself out throughout the whole process of getting to the financial freedom. It's like you need to I believe that you have there is a level of like at least a way to do it in a right way, like to scale and grow. Like you can grow without having to having to like kill yourself. Like you have to be obsessed, you have to be driven, you have to work hard, but you also have to take care of yourself in the process. So make sure you take care of yourself as you grow your business, grow your real estate, grow your overall generational wealth. You want to grow that, but you have to focus on also, if you're not around, health is wealth. If you're not around, then what is money good for you? So there's no reason, you got to use your money wisely and then spend it on those things that actually matter. Get a coach, right? I was talking to a 10X doctor yesterday. It's so interesting. I didn't tell you about it, but basically it was like, you got great, you're great. And then boom, you got to watch your triglycerides or whatever. You got to like watch your, you got to stop eating red meat. You got to stop eating
triglycerides. So good.
You got too much sweets. I'm like, man. So what do I got? Now I either have to take that advice and take action towards working on my health and making sure that my health is good. And this is 10X. I recommend it to anyone. 10X Health. It's been a good overall process. There's a little bit of they're really busy, but they do get the work done. And essentially, I would recommend going through that process and figuring out what's wrong with you. You don't might not even know what's wrong with you. And then once you find out, they're like, okay, now I have an action plan. I have a nutrition supplements that I can take, like vitamin D. Like I never go out, I need to take vitamin D. Like you probably need it too. You don't even know. But like it's like these are the things that we don't know. But if you don't know about it, if you don't take action towards fixing those issues later down the line, when you're in your 50s or 60s, this is going to catch up to you, and then you're going to die early. So it's like, you want to have a long life, take care of yourself. And besides gym, find out what's wrong with you, because you might have stuff that you don't even know. And I think that that's where, if you're going to spend money, besides educating yourself, spend money on your health and make sure you're healthy.
Now let's go to the next one. How can you make money work for you? So this is like, I just want to talk more about it. I mean, I think this is the big message for Credit Leverage X in my mind. Like we have to explain all the crap we do to get them the money, because that's like the sexy part. But then the real power, I think, of our message, like, Grant's thing is like 10X your company. For us, it's like get the money and then put the money to work so that you don't have to work for your money forever, right? Have that or like have enough passive income where you can have financial freedom. So this question is like, how can you make the money work for you, right? That's kind of what I was trying to ask. What are some ways that you make money work for you, Gino?
Oh man, what don't I try to do? I mean, I try to make my money. Everything I do, I try to make my money work for me. Even when I, now that I learn about other things, how to make, besides real estate, besides businesses, life insurance, right? There's so many different ways. But essentially, whenever you collect cash or you collect a payment from the bank or or not bank, like your employer, or let's say or you made money doing something. When you get that money, you literally have to put that money to work. What I'm saying is like you don't take that money and spend it, because the moment you spend that money you can never get that money again. So instead of spending it, you want to put it somewhere where it's gonna kind of like basically like season, and it's gonna sizzle on that grill for a little bit, and then it's gonna start producing babies. It's gonna start producing more and more babies, and then more and more like sizzling creatures, and next you know you have a bunch of dollars that are being printed, and then you take those new dollars and reinvest it, and then you can pull from those and spend that money, right? And that's what it means by making your money work for you. And making money work for you is reality is that you might not even have to use your own money. When I say that, none of the money that you own is your money, like none of the money. And that's something that I realize more than ever now is like you don't own your money. Your money is not your money. It's actually, it might be my money. It's like actually where it's like that. I think Grant Cardone says, "Who's got my money?" Right?
Who's got my money?
Got my money? Where is my money? Who's got my money? Because everybody's got my money. All the people in the world have my money, because at the end of the day, all that money is your money, and it's someone else's money. It's not your money. It's who's got my money. That way, I can take the money and put it to work. But it's like you have to have the money, or you have to have a drive to get other people's money. Because other people's money is really what you're after. When you go get paid at a job, that money the company made, it came from somewhere else. It didn't come from them. They didn't generate that money unless they sold something that was profitable. Then they pay off their employees, right? But the money was generated through some kind of some other means, whether it was a sale, whether it was an investment, whether it was like a passive income opportunity, like real estate, like a hedge fund, wherever the money came from. That money is other people's money, so you don't own any of your money. So stop hoarding your money. It's not your money. Okay, put the money to work. Let it do what it's got to do, and it's going to make you more money. And that's how you make your money to work. And I'm talking about opportunities like real estate, car rentals, life insurance. You have obviously ETF accounts. You have if you're still investing in crypto. Crypto is another good way to like at least put your money into, just in case something gets hot and blows up, right?
Yeah.
The opportunity zones, right? Then you have other opportunities, like if you're doing like you want to rent like RVs out, or you want to buy a piece of land and then rent out the piece of land. Whatever it is, you have once you buy it, once you own it, you can do whatever you want with it, but you can't do it unless you have cash, and that means you need other people's money. So if you can't, you either have to earn the money or you have to go get the money. And regardless of what way you choose to do, I recommend go get the money. Don't work for it if you don't have to, right? You can work for it, but eventually, like, well, I worked enough. Let me go get the money. So that let me go get the money, because you know what? I'm qualified to get more money. Why would I go work for it? How long is it going to take you to save 100,000? How long is it take you to 200,000? Like, it's in Los Angeles, to buy one house, you got to put like 250 G's on a property right now just to buy a single family home. Like, how long is it going to take you to save that kind of money? It's almost impossible, right? So it's like, especially if you're the expenses you have in LA. But what I'm trying to get to is like, you have to realize your overall finances are dependent on your ability to invest. You have to become a skilled investor. And once you become a skilled investor, you're able to make your money work for you, and you're able to make new money using other people's money. So you never have to have your own money. And you never have to earn it again.
I think you nailed it right there. How to become a skilled investor.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got it. That's really what it comes down to. Savvy investor. Savvy investors don't work.
Yeah. It sounds stupid, but I just learned about down payment assistance loans. Have you ever heard of that? Where you get a loan to help you
financially, like if you're financially qualified, let's say like your income doesn't hit a certain amount.
So it's for broke people. I thought it was for anybody.
I think if you never bought a house before, I think you can still use it. I think there might be some abilities where it's not just for broke people. I know there was some for like minorities, right? Like unfortunately you won't fall into that.
I can get the veteran one maybe.
But regardless, you might still be a minority in depending on where you are, right, in the financial realm. But also, like, they also look for, like, they try to promote certain ethnic backgrounds, so that way they get in before they get the promotions or help before anybody else. But Bank of America had one recently. They're giving out financial support for any minority Latinos, I think it was, that were like Latin Americans that were getting, financial help, and also African Americans. So anybody that's black can get in, and they'll get more support, and they're more likely to get support from that.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird. I just
never. Yeah, but check it out. I mean, regardless, if you're a first time, especially if you're first time, you bought property, or if you own property but you never owned it like under your name, then you can actually get it. You can just still get, or your girlfriend or anybody else in your family, your mom, your dad, they can all qualify, and then you can be the one that lends them the money, and then they're able to buy the property. Listen to this: you get the money, you buy the property, and then after you buy the property, you can convert to whoever you want. It doesn't matter. Right. It doesn't matter if you buy. Originally, it doesn't have to be you who buys the property.
Right.
As long as someone else, someone's willing to give it back to you, you're fine. Or they have a deal with you. You guys, hey, you know what? I'll pay me, whatever, or you know what? I'll hold the property with you. I'll put some money with you. Whatever it is, that the deal, whatever the deal is, and I've done that before with family. I've yet to do it with friends because I don't want to, those are kind of like deals that you don't want to break. And then business partners, obviously, when it comes to business, when you're on the same page, I've done it many times.
Yeah. That's one way you can make your money work for you, is you can loan it out to people to get their house, and then they can pay you back either through the equity or through the rent, or by just paying you back in general. Right?
Get the house, get the equity, pay me back. We're good. Right. At the end of the day, and that's so beautiful. It's a beautiful process. It's, it's almost like it's made that way for us and all the investors out there. The current laws right now, we have to protect our laws. Like our ownership laws are the most important things we got to protect right now. And I want everybody to know that, because if we lose ownership to properties or equity, we are losing our power as a I want to say like a citizen to be able to own anything. Like we have to own, we have to keep ownership, because ownership is the secret sauce to our freedom. Like if we can't own anything, then we're slaves, right? We have to own.
Yeah, that's another book you need to read, dude. Is How to Get Rich. But all he talks about in the whole book is ownership is how you get wealth. Never give up equity. Life is a fight for property, right? And don't go down without a fight, basically. And you want to accumulate as much property and as much ownership as possible, because that's the only true wealth that you can really get. And I think that's a very powerful thing that people need to remember. And what's screwed up is, like you just said, is like, what if we lose our ownership rights? Then all of our money turns into crypto, and the government owns all the money, and then they take away all the guns, right? We're just done for, dude.
And then it's like we're back to World War II.
And the aliens take over the world, and then
we thought we got away from Hitler, bro. We got another thing coming. At the end of the day, we got to realize that we have to fight for our rights. And our reality is, our rights are the laws in place that are put to us, the banking laws, the financial, the laws of the nation that were set by the Constitution, right? All this stuff needs to stay in place. And I'm a hardcore believer in our Constitution, and I think that things that were written in the past, they don't necessarily need to be. They should not be changed. They should only be. They should only be worked towards progression. Like whatever new thing that we're doing now in the world, update it, right? Update it in a way, but still stay in line with the overall message, which is freedom of liberty, freedom of speech, freedom of choice, right? These are things that America, and that's why we're here, man. I came from another country. We'll do this. We'll do another session about this. But me coming from another country, coming here, and being able to actually make your money work for you has been like an enlightening experience. So it's like you never thought that you can do something. Nobody knows. Nobody teaches you this stuff. You don't go to first grade or high school. Hey, financial freedom class. Like learn how to get financially free. No, they want you to be a worker.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the reality, and it's fine. Not everybody can or deserves to be financially free.
Right.
Okay. It's like, the ones that are obsessed, the ones that are driven, the ones that want control of their life, that want results, that want more than what's been given to them, are the ones that should and will become financially free. The rest of us that are not in that category, don't want to do it, don't want to put the work in, don't want to get up early, don't want to, take a risk on themselves or in their life and actually make something happen, and are just content to what they're getting every single month because they're happy with that, paycheck or whatever they're getting, those people are gonna have to, they may or may not have a good retirement. Some people are like, oh, I got a city job or a state job and I'm pretty safe. Sure, for now.
Yeah, until it goes
Now.
away.
So it's like at the end of the day, what do you want full control, or do you still want to depend on someone else? That's what I'm trying to say. So you have to decide on that. Our dependency is very, very, it's a very difficult place to be. And taking a risk, that's already a risk. Depending on someone else is more of a risk than depending on yourself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
My
So,
girlfriend got-
I guess the next question I can go into it, which is how can someone become a millionaire in 2024?
Yeah, it's a good one.
So, and becoming a millionaire in 2024, it goes back to, using other people's money and making your money work for you. So, you have in any industry that you're in, you have to realize that your sole purpose is to be profitable as a business, as an entrepreneur, and as an investor. You have to be profitable because your money has to always produce new money. And the only way you're going to become a millionaire is by being able to sell products high enough at the quantities great enough to be able to maximize your sales. Okay. And if you haven't heard that before, that's something that, that's been, preached, for centuries, being able to sell products high enough and a great quantity enough, and as well as being able to buy a multiply. So let's say, for example, you buy a piece of property, you buy one property, if you're profitable and you're able to make profits off one property, so what do? Well, the way you do it is you multiply that property. You get another 5 of those, another 10 of those, another 20 of those. And then you just boom, now you're making 10 times that what you were making originally. So same thing in business. Once you find a sweet spot that you're making money and you can multiply it, replicate it over and over again, you go all in. You go all in and you drive it to the end until you multiply it big enough so you can quit your 9-to-5, so you can invest your time in other things, so you can live the life that you want. So that way you can walk away and be financially free, truly financially. Even if it requires you to work a little bit, it's still better than you working for someone else. So that's what's going to help. That's how you're going to become financially free, is by being able to take a risk on yourself, take the opportunity and open, start something new, and also use other people's money, like get access to the money. So that way you don't have to risk your money, right? And your credit is where it is the key. Get access to the money using your credit. Go get, $50 to $100 to $200, $300,000 of money that you need to have, or get that HELOC that you have in your house, and start to make your money work. And do that. Be a savvy investor. Start learning how to. If you don't know, join a mentorship program. Learn from others. Even if it's not me, I don't care. It's like, find someone that's going to help you succeed in whatever you're doing. So that way you don't have to go to work and do a specific task and get paid this much money. If you can find that one thing that you can push yourself towards and you find that sweet spot, you can multiply it. And that's how you become a millionaire. When you multiply one idea over and over again, and you multiply it at scale. And same thing with with real estate, same thing with life insurance, like anything you go into and you can find that sweet spot that's making you money, you just have to scale the shit out of it. And I think that, in our case, we have credit and we have funding and we have investing opportunities. So all this opportunities is for everybody. And I want you guys to be able to realize that you can make money with us. You're a partner. You're not a client. You're a partner in our team, and you are able to become millionaires because you're able to access your money and make that money work for you. And that's how you become a millionaire in 2024. So how do you think we can become millionaires? I think it's all about spending the time on yourself. So Robert, I think you got a text or something. So at the end of the day, if you guys are becoming focused on your future, then realize you have to find one thing that you are into, and we can help you get the money. And then once you have the money, you just multiply that thing. If you already have something that you're thinking about, or you want to get started, or if you want to, want to do something that's just, you don't really have an idea, but you want to, let's say, invest with us or create income with us, we can help you do that as well. We'll help you get the money, we'll help you invest it, and you'll create income for yourself. And that's what we do at Credit Leverage X. So, Robert, I'm gonna go on.
My girlfriend got pulled over. I got to get her.
Okay, no worries. I'll finish it up. So if you can go back in time, what is the best piece of advice you would give your younger self? So if you would go back in time, what is the best piece of advice you would give yourself? The first thing is, it's such a interesting thought to think back when, you were in your early, early, teens, and, when you're, still a young kid or young child that didn't know anything, and, your parents taught you everything, so if you could, have had someone tell you something that's different that you don't have right now, what would that be? Well, that would be something like, hey, you know what? You have an opportunity where you can actually make money without having to, necessarily put labor to make money. So you can actually make money by, investing your time into something that you love and creating that thing and being able to provide, be of service to others. And if that means you can create a service business, you can create a product or something that helps other people or solves other people's problems, that's something that I would tell myself. I'll say, hey, why don't you spend your time, instead of going out, partying, hanging out, whatever you're doing, why don't you spend your time right now when you're still in your teens or early teens, or even in, if you're in college or whatever, instead of going and wasting your time, studying a course or a curriculum and trying to get that one job, whether it's an engineer, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, a pharmacist, whatever that is. And if that's something that you want to do and you're passionate about it, go ahead and do it. But if you're just trying to make money, and really that's why you're going to school, want to just make money, you need to be able to focus on one thing, which is realizing that you can make money by being able to create something and by multiplying it. And if you can solve a problem that's already in the universe or in the world, then you can fix that problem by being able to multiply it and make money by selling it or coaching others, whatever it is, that's what you need to do. You need to focus on and do that now instead of going out and partying and drinking or whatever you're doing. So focus on that now, and then you can actually make that your reality. And now by the time you're in your college years, you might just be like, you know what, I don't need college. I already got money coming in. Or, you know what, I really like this. I'm going to stay in college and do this for myself because I want to learn about it. Don't do it because of money. Don't go to college, necessarily. That's what I did. I went to school because I was like, oh, I'm going to make a certain amount of money being, an engineer, and I'm going to get this much salary and et cetera, et cetera. But it goes back to me like, okay, I'm limiting myself. I'm keeping myself within this restriction of like what an engineer makes. Electrical in this case, and I had friends that were doing other engineering fields, and I know doctors and lawyers and pharmacists that do different fields, but they had a limitation of what they can make. So being able to go back to yourself when you're younger and tell yourself you can create whatever you want. You have the ability to create, and you have the time now. Don't go out and party and drink and waste your time when you're young. Spend your time when you're young on creating something, and by the time you find yourself solving people's problems and being of service to others, you'll start to create that financial freedom that you're looking for in the future. And if money is the goal, you can make way more money being in business for yourself than working for someone else. And as well as, especially if you're trying to get, if you're an engineer, doctor, or lawyer, and you're trying to just do that one thing just to get a license so you can get paid, don't do it just for the money, because the money unfortunately is gonna disappoint you when you become a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer. It's just gonna disappoint you, because then it's the levels to it, and the amount of work that you got to do to make that kind of money. You can make way more money out of engineering or out of being a doctor or a lawyer if you don't have to do the work yourself. Every doctor still has to do the work. Every lawyer still has to show up. It's not like if there's a court case, lawyer can't just not show up. He can send somebody potentially to represent him, but when it comes down to it, they got to put their signature on it, right? They still got to be there. So there's a lot, and they have to be involved in it. So do you want to be a worker doing a specific job, or do you want to be an investor and make money without having to work for it? So that's what I would tell myself, Robert. Just create something from the beginning, make something that, that's, that I would never expect, and spend that time building something, solving people's problems and being of service to others early on when I'm in my early teens, before I even went to college, and not waste my time going out and being a kid. I would want to deal with the financial aspect of my life earlier. So that way, when I get older, like I'm already, I already got that problem resolved. Like me going to college would have been like, oh, I want to do this because I'm interested, or because I want to learn about this, but not because as a necessity in order to survive in this world and create income, right? It's like insane the way the process is set up, and that's the problem. So that's the wrong way. So it's also your parents. Your parents have to be the ones to tell you and educate you, because they're the first level of education. The moment you get into the school system, they're going to teach you what they need to teach you to get you to become a good, loyal citizen and also a worker for whatever you're going to do. So start to do that for your kids if you have kids, or if you're, if you're in a position where you're still young enough. Start to think about how you can change your life and create value into society and solve people's problems and create that one thing that you love to do. And and be able to sell it or monetize it somehow.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I always think you can do anything you really put your mind to. Well, that's the biggest thing. And I think you should set your goals a lot bigger. Go all in and just work your ass off. Put your head down. Don't do anything else. Just basically put in the hours, the necessary work to be successful, and you can be there. Yeah. So, my girlfriend got freaking pulled over, and the cops didn't believe that we had car insurance. We have car insurance, but I couldn't find the stupid fucking piece of paper. So she was calling.
Oh my God.
So stupid, man.
Ridiculous. Well, that's exactly, it's like we still live in a society that has that, they have to do their job, and then they're getting a salary to pull your girlfriend over. Right. It gets paid to do that. It's like, oh, now, it's like some jobs are just useless.
Right.
I mean, they should like, no offense to the police officers out there, like I think like, true value of a police officer and a of service is doing something that's necessary. Like if it's like something that's happening that's breaking laws, like, hey, you're breaking the law. You're speeding, or you're causing some kind of havoc. You're going to cause pain or danger to other people. Then you should definitely pull people over. But I mean, for other than that, like sometimes it's just a matter of just getting their quotas, which is the problem. And I think those KPIs, those KPIs, are not. That's not the value that they should bring. Service should be money generating income for. Police officers, I believe they shouldn't be a profit organization. I think they're not. I think they are a for-profit organization. So, it's interesting. I mean, every state is.
Yeah. Every state's a for-profit organization.
They're all for-profit. They're taxing you all the time. Are they fixing the roads out there? I don't see them getting fixed. It's like, where's the money going? It's like, where's the money going? So it's like there's everything is profit. The United States of America is a for-profit business. They're not non-profit. It's like a non-profit, it's like, what do you think this is? Like, this is a for-profit. This is a business on business on business. There's 50 businesses in the United States, and they're the 50 states of the United States, and you got the United States government, which is the business of all business, a corporation. So it's like everybody pays their bills. Everybody pays the piper. They all pay Uncle Sam. So they all, and it all goes up. They pay the state, and they pay the federal government. So that's what we do every single year. The IRS is on us every year, making sure we pay our stuff. And guess what? There's a lot of rules, that we can get into in the future. But essentially, a lot of the stuff, is really made up. It's like they create the society you live in, and you got to be able to do it and follow the rules. So now it's maybe not following those specific society rules, like going to school, going to college, and doing the typical route, because I've noticed that people that don't take the typical route, for example, you got Bill Gates, you have, some of these guys that barely went to college, Steve Jobs. And I think, for example, they didn't have a typical college, like Elon Musk, not a typical, college student, right? So it's like, he might have learned some stuff, but he had his own drives, and school did not teach him to be what he is today. It's not for sure. You know, it's like he was obsessed. He was driven. He didn't want to anything to stop him. So he told himself, his younger self, somebody must have told him, or he told himself, or somehow he has some kind of enlightenment that told him that he has to do something monumental, and he's going to go to Mars. Like, it's like, what? I'm going to Mars. It's like, oh, this is his mission, right? So it's like, at the end of the day, something happened. Like, somebody from Mars came down and talked to him or something. But at the end of the day, there was some enlightenment. Something went off. He drove himself insane for it. And, and that's why, the Tesla now exists. So it's like, there's a lot of, if you look at the stories, like, you read about these people. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be reading about all these people. I'm going to learn more about who these people are and what they did in their life and how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's what I'll leave you guys to it. Tell your younger self to change your life. Robert, I don't know if you want to, answer this, but, what would you tell yourself when you're younger if you had to do it again?
Yeah. Like I said, I think it would be, set really big, audacious goals, put your head down, throw away the TV. Don't get married when you're young and stupid. Just fucking take shit over, and don't look back. Basically, I wish I would have. I wish I would have told myself to start leveling myself up. Right, work harder on yourself than you ever do on your business and everything else, and you'll become the best version of yourself, which is what you really should be aspiring to. But then also, like, whenever I think back on, like, I was so successful, is like all I did was like work, read books, and focus on my dream, and I got so far ahead. And then I find myself falling back, and I just know that how to do anything I want in this life, it just takes a lot of work and focus and determination, and you have to be different than everybody else. Like, it's okay to be the misfit, right? When we're younger, we think it's weird for us to be the black sheep or the misfit or whatever, but the reality is society and most normal people suck. Don't be normal. Don't be like them. Be abnormal. Be the means and change the world. So that's kind of what you should do.
Absolutely. I love that.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump off here. This was fire. Hope you guys appreciate it. Check out creditleverageix.com. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Send us any kind of questions you want us to answer. We'll go over it. We're here every Wednesday at 12 Pacific time, and we're going to keep rolling. All right, let's get going. If you guys need money, if you need capital, join Credit Leverage X, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace. All right, cool.
Fire.